Hello class 10 children. Now as you all know, in information technology we have been doing part A, unit 4, that is entrepreneurial skills. Now yesterday the last topic that I discussed with you was functions of an entrepreneur. I had already discussed with you the entrepreneurial functions of an entrepreneur. Now today I'll be discussing the next three functions. The first is promotional function of an entrepreneur. Now promotional, what does the word promotion means? Promotion means that moving a step ahead, promotion. So in the promotional function of an entrepreneur, the first function is idea discovery. This means that here idea discovery refers to the discovery of a business idea. An entrepreneur comes up with a business idea, thinks about it, and then he implements it. So this will be your idea discovery. Then second one is the managerial, before managerial, the promotional functions only. First one was idea discovery. The next is detailed investigation. Now while coming up with ideas can seem like an easy process, the challenge is to understand if that idea has the potential to turn into a viable business venture. That means whatever you are thinking, is it feasible for you to do a business of that kind? So for this, what will an entrepreneur do? He will conduct research, investigation, and then he will come up with a detailed investigation report that will help him in implementing the idea that he has thought of. Now next promotional function is your assembling the requirements. Now some basic business requirements include infrastructure, office space, human resources, partners, capital. So in a manufacturing or product based business, some requirements are selecting the factory site, planting, machinery, hiring staff. So after your idea has been implemented, after the detailed investigation, now the entrepreneur will start assembling those requirements which are needed by him to set up a business. Then the next promotional function is your financing. Now what is financing? Financing means raising capital for a business, which is one of the core functions that entrepreneurs perform themselves at the initial stage of the business. First of all, the requirements of finance are estimated. Next, where will that finance come from? This will include long-term as well as short-term financial requirements. Now the next function is managerial function of an entrepreneur. Now managerial function will include all those functions that will help the entrepreneur to manage his or her business. So this will include planning. That means a business will that the entrepreneur has to plan the business. A business plan serves as a guide to determine the business objectives. Then organizing, the next managerial function. That means it refers to setting specific and attainable goals and objectives to be achieved by different departments and by each employee. It is about arranging, directing, coordinating, and controlling the business activities. Next managerial function is directing. Directing is about initiating the planned action. That means you start working on it and ensure that each employee is performing effectively. Then next is staffing. Staffing requires the process of recruitment, manpower planning, selection, placement, training, transfer, salary, promotion, payroll, etc. This staffing function of managerial one will ensure that the right employee is hired at the right time. The next one is your leadership. Leadership is more of a skill than a function for an entrepreneur. It is one of the managerial function which will help the entrepreneur to lead, guide, and supervise the people who are working under him. The next managerial function is communication. An entrepreneur has to communicate every single day in the form of writing or responding or emails or verbal instruction. So basically entrepreneurs, as it has been found in a study, that they spend 75 to 90% of their working time communicating with others. Then next managerial function is supervision. After issuing the instruction, now the entrepreneur has to see that the given instructions are followed. Supervision refers to the job of telling the subordinates, managing them, having an eye on them so that maximum utilization of resources is there and the required output is achieved. Next managerial function is motivation, which involves that you need to motivate your employees, inculcate a positive aspect in them so that the work is done smoothly and the final output is productive, is very progressive. The next managerial function is coordination. Coordination. Without coordination, any of the entrepreneur cannot succeed. So it involves coordination between different departments. Then controlling enables the employees to take corrective measures when anything is not performed according to the standard. The last managerial function is negotiation. Negotiation involves negotiating terms and conditions in terms of salaries, timelines, payment terms, etc. So now the next, this is about managerial function. Now the next is your commercial function. Commercial function will include production and operation, finance and accounting, marketing, and human resource management. So basically now the entrepreneur has already hired people and the production has started. Now how to increase it, then how to market the product from one place to another. So this will all be included in your commercial function. Now next topic is roles of entrepreneur. Now entrepreneur has different roles. One is coordinating role. That means he has to coordinate the various factors for production. Then the agent's role of an entrepreneur, identify the opportunities, establish enterprises and build up industries, which in turn lead to overall development of the economy. Then entrepreneur also has an innovator's role, because entrepreneurs are serving as innovators, bringing new products and services to the market or improving the existing ones. The next role is risk assumption role. Obviously, an entrepreneur, as we studied in his qualities also, that an entrepreneur is a risk taker. So risk is always involved with every venture. So risk assumption role will be like entrepreneurs retain some amount of profits earned and put it back into business. Then imitating role. Imitating role refers to adopting the entrepreneurs, that they copy or they adopt the innovations done by entrepreneurs of the developed nations. They take examples of big entrepreneurs like Dhirubhai Ambani, then your Steve Jobs, Tata. All these people who have been good entrepreneurs, they should imitate their role. That will be an imitating role. Capital formation and formation of capital by mobilizing the idle savings for the purpose of carrying business. And then is your employment generation role, which will be an entrepreneur generates employment for the people. An industry is set up in an area. It will be helpful for the people to get an employment. So these are all the roles of entrepreneurs. So that's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day.